Hey, what's happening? How you doing? This is Coach Carvel Bailey, and I want to welcome you. That's right, to another episode of Coach Carvel Bailey's Lunch and Learn. All right, share this. We're talking about postseason reflections. Postseason reflections. Share this with somebody. All right, we'll be right back in a minute. Peace.
We may make stocks. All these stocks is different teams, right? Every time that train stops, it's just a different team. But what happened to the train when the doors closed? We may make stocks. All these stocks is different teams, right? Every time that train stops, it's just a different team. But what happened to the train when the doors closed? It's on to the next one. It's on to the next one. So that train don't care who in this way, and unfortunately sometimes people die, but that train don't care who in this way, whoever in this way gonna get what?
Ran over.
Ran over. That's how I want y'all to think. Same way about your, no matter what that teacher give you, this assignment about to get ran over. Because I'm an Olympian. And I put in the work. Does that make sense? Like, and if y'all don't understand that, it's another team that do. Because we talk about the hard way, it's going to be them teams in the fourth quarter where it get hard. And it's a nose-to-nose battle. It's going to be who's going to be the toughest to come out. And it ain't the toughest like this with them push-ups or whatever, right? It's who's going to be tough here. Who's going to say, we going to win because we put in the work. The train can't go if everybody ain't on the same track, right? The train can't go if it ain't on the track. So if one of y'all is not on the same page as everybody else, the train don't move. Or the train, what happens when the train goes off the track? It's called what? Derail. Train that derail, can it ever get to its destination?
No, sir.
So if y'all walk around here and y'all late to class, the train derails. If y'all getting bad grades, the train derails. Because he just gave me 100. But it took y'all to help him through that last 50, right?
Yes, sir.
Period. So if one person ain't doing what's supposed to be done, that's where the accountability comes in. Don't be late to class. Don't get written up. Pull your pants up. Like, it ain't hard. And when y'all learn how to do what you're supposed to do, you can do whatever you want to do.
All right, y'all. How you doing? Welcome to another episode of Coach Carvel Bailey's Lunch and Learn. Today we are talking about postseason reflection. Post E Doherty, what up, my brother? How you doing, my brother? I think I got my IG over here. I think I got my mama on IG today, right? We got some people over here on our Facebook, YouTube, community, right, out in podcast land. So today, as basketball season is coming to a wrap, right, I'm repping Truman College, right? I'm repping me, all right, repping Truman College. We set an all-time record at this particular school also, right? Well, I'm not going to say all-time record, but after 19 years of not having a program, we got the best record here too, right? So I rep what I've done, right? I keep receipts, as the young folks say. So today, postseason reflection. So I'm gonna just pose this question, and then we're gonna get into a Q&A. Now that the season is over for your athlete, and you're about to start spring ball, whatever that may look like, AAU, club ball, whatever the spring looks like for your athlete. Let's take about 5 minutes today and let's just reflect. I want you to drop in the chat, what's one thing that went well for your athlete this season? And what's one thing that didn't go as well as you would like for it to go for your athlete? And let's kind of talk through it. All right. I got a few minutes today. Not a lot. Dre, what up? Not a lot of time, but I do have a little time. So let's just write, and this is only for those parents that really want some help. This is only for those parents that really want some help. I'm here today to help you. So let's go through reflections, right? To reflect, sometimes people can meditate, but great individuals are able to reflect. Great individuals, great teachers, great coaches, great politicians, being able to reflect after the fact, what did I do? What could I've done better? What adjustment could I've made? And so I'm here to walk through some postseason reflections with you and to talk you through some postseason reflections to be able to help you and your athlete out. All right. So again, giving them my lunch, right? I got a bomb salad that I'm about to eat, but I'm here, right? Again, consistent. Tuesdays and Fridays, we here. Talk to me. What's one thing that went well for your athlete? What's one thing that didn't go as well for them as you would like for it to go? Even if I have some coaches here. And if you're catching the replay, drop it below. All right. We can't help you live if you caught it on the replay. But a lot of athletes never take time to reflect. A lot of athletes don't watch film. A lot of athletes don't go look at the stat sheet. The only thing that they look at the stat sheet is points. They're not looking at, man, I had these many rebounds, these many offensive rebounds. I could have did more. What if I put myself in position? Great. I'm not talking about good. I'm talking about great individuals. They reflect. They reflect. So what is it about your athlete that could have went better? What is it about your athlete that went well, right? So with my particular team at the school that I teach at, we won our first round playoffs, right? They're in the history books, first basketball team at this school to win a playoff game and get to the Final Four of the regionals, right? So I would say that went well. Now, what didn't go as well was being able to have myself and the head coach, right, my buddy, being able to actually have things done the way we would have liked for them to be done. See, because early on in the year, we were having 3-4 games at a time because we weren't scheduling them, right? The administration was. And so we didn't have the practice time to really get into the skill development. But later on in the season, when we started to peak, and we peaked at the right time, right before the end of the season, because we had that time to really start to develop them. But here's where most people, most athletes, they get it wrong. And reflecting, they tend to blame other people. So if I had to give you the same reflection, I would say that I would have, even though we have buses that take the athletes home, I would have found a way to get our athletes in additional time. So me reflecting, I can say that maybe I could have stayed later and got more work in, the way I used to do with my college players. After the practice, we're going to stay for an extra hour and work, right? I'm reflecting on what I could have done better to get a better result. So if athletes aren't reflecting on what went well, what didn't go as well as they would like for it to go, and then what part of it is their responsibility, what can they take ownership in? I'm saying that I could have spent more time after practice working with some of these athletes, even though we were playing, right, 3-4 games at a time, right? Maybe I could have gave up some of my weekends to get that professional that athletic development. Does that make sense? So reflecting, you have to take ownership. But if athletes don't reflect, if players don't reflect, coaches don't reflect, administrators, teachers, parents don't reflect, how can they improve? And I think one of the issues that I have always had with things like club ball, AAU ball, right, postseason basketball is just like us. They play. and they don't really have time to reflect. And if you can't reflect, you aren't able to get complete clarity. Does that make sense? Because a lot of times we're going through as we're going through. I'm gonna say that again. We're going through as we're going through. So we're navigating as we're dealing with this stuff in real time. That's why books are beneficial. Books are beneficial because you don't have to go through while you're going through. While you're going through, a book can help you say, hey, Coach Bailey went through and he exited this way. This how, right? That's the benefit of books. But most times we go through as we go through. We're figuring it out on the fly. But now being able to reflect, because all a book is a reflection. In these two books, all I did was reflected on what I've been through in 20-some years. So in this 70-page book, in this 82-page book, 70-page book, 82-page book, both less than 85 pages. It's over 25 years of experience, 25 years of exiting out the right way, so you don't have to go through as you're going through. But I reflected on what I went through and then I wrote it down. Does that make sense? So the cheat code is being able to reflect. The cheat code is being able to reflect. So if nobody got any reflections, right? Your team, your athlete, yourself even, right? What went well, what didn't go as well as you would like for it to go. If there's no reflections, then I guess I'm done for the day. I can go eat my salad. All right? So I was here to walk through with y'all. But a lot of the issues that a lot of people have, is they don't know how to communicate. Because we don't know how to communicate, we come to classes like this. Well, we don't know how to communicate and we're nosy. Let me say that, right? We as a culture, we just consume a lot of information. And we consume a lot of information because we nosy as hell. And we just want to listen and hear what people are talking about because we're nosy, and then we want to make an opinion about it, but we aren't taking steps to do anything constructive or productive ourselves. So because we don't know how to communicate, we don't ask questions. So we don't get the help that we need. We'll just rather sit someplace and hear information and say, oh, I was part of that, right? People listen to respond instead of listen for clarity. That's why a lot of people can't really ask questions, because a lot of people listen to information as a critic. They watch things as a critic. They aren't watching to get clarity. They aren't listening to get clarity, because in order to get clarity, you have to ask more questions. But most people are nosy and they like, let me see what these people talking about. Let me go here and just see what they, right? But you're wasting vital time and vital energy being nosy. If you're going to be someplace, be there. I tell my students, why you get up in so early in the morning to come to school to sit here and do nothing? At least ask a question. At least ask a question. Cam, how you doing? Right? Cam, what city and state you checking in from? At least ask a question, but a lot of people don't ask questions, right? And so if you can't ask questions, you don't get clarity. That's why I've had the AAU people up in arms, because they're ignorant, right? Not knowing and I'm talking about the culture, they're not knowing of the culture they're in, the AAU and club and drill, right? They don't understand the culture they're in because they're in it, and they're not asking questions to get more information, to get more exposure, to be like, oh, there are other things out here than just this. Oh, it's a truth to this stuff as opposed to what I've been getting. So in reflecting on this class, I would say stop being so nosy and seek to get clarity. If you're not asking, right? So I'm gonna say this as I close, and I told my students this the other day. You can tell the intelligence of a man not by the answers that he gives, but by the questions that he asks. I'm gonna say that again. You can tell the intelligence of an individual not by the answers that they give or the big words that they use, but you can tell the intelligence of an individual by the questions that they ask. So if people aren't asking questions, you can question their intelligence, right? And intelligence is just knowing. But how do you gonna know something if you don't ask questions? But it's so cool now not to ask questions. And then the only question most parents ask is, how come my kid not playing? Well, if you ask the right question, it'll answer that question that you got. Not just, why ain't my kid playing? Why did you take my kid out? Ask the right questions. You ask the right questions, it will answer that question that you actually have. All right? So that was it. All right? I did my part. I showed up today. Did you show up? Did you show up? And did you show up as your most optimal self? Did you just show up to be nosy, or did you just show up to ask questions? And if you just showed up to be nosy, then you wasted your time. All right? So you probably got some information, and hopefully it's clear. But if it's not clear, you need to ask questions. And so my question to you as I started, as I close, what is it about your athlete season that went well? What is it about your athlete season that didn't go as well as you would like for it to go? That's the question that you need to ask yourself, and have your athlete help you to answer that same question. All right, Coach Bailey, I got to go. Can't spend no more time with y'all. Y'all dry as hell today. All right, I'm out. Peace.
Yo, just so you understand it, this is Coach Carvel Bailey's program with the spirit of Bob Hambry. This is Blessed to Ball, helping athletes, and we represent. Study your craft, your mentality leads to excellence. It's all about your mindset. We'll never stop addressing this, so be positive and not a pessimist. Confidence took James Harden higher. If you really want it, it ain't gonna be easy. It's gonna be hard as carbon fiber, but we got you. From counseling to workshops, we do it. You'll go farther with a scholarship. We'll help you get recruited. Yo, anyone can dribble and shoot, but it's the ones who study basketball internally that make it to Duke University. Knowledge goes around. The game is played from the neck up and not from the shoulders down. This is Blessed to Ball, helping you with obstacles. The athletes are the rocket. Blessed to Ball is the rocket fuel. If you hit a wall, we can help you slowly climb it. So keep a Mamba mentality like Kobe Bryant. Blessed to Ball. Cherish the opportunities that you have. Blessed to Ball. Use your mentality to master the craft. Blessed to Ball. Come join our team. It's a new day. Follow our steps and watch how much better you play. Blessed to Ball. Cherish the opportunities that you have. Blessed to Ball. Use your mentality to master the craft. Blessed to Ball. Come join our team. It's a new day. Follow our steps and watch how much better you play. Yo, Coach Carvel Bailey. Hey, listen to your coach, man. He ain't no scrub off the street. That man got credentials, academic and street. Believe it. And my name is Strategic.